Yo, yo, yo. Hey, we back. Shout out to the lights. Man, I got some new lights. If you care, if you don't care. Oh. If you like yellow lights, get away from me. Daylights is what you need. But I'm here not for that, man, but to talk Browns. The Browns lost 34 to 10 to the Detroit Lions on Sunday. And let's just get into it, man. Instant reactions. Well, not so instant. Uh, the Browns defense played pretty well. Well, they played okay. Let me say that. The defensive line didn't get any sacks, but Myles Garrett got a lot of pressure. Malik Collins made a lot of impact plays, and the coverage on the back end was decent. The Lions didn't really play well this game, partially because the defense played pretty good against the offense, and then defensively, some plays were to be had. They just were not made by the Cleveland Browns. Um, the game was still pretty close. It was 20 to 10 at one point in the third quarter. Uh and then the Browns, I think it was the third quarter. Then the Browns had a chance to make a big play, back-to-back big plays actually. Harold Fanning Jr. had a big drop right after that. Jerry Judy had a big drop, and that ended up leading to a punt, of which the Detroit Lions took back to the crib. Khalif Raymond, like 70 yards, 65 yards, whatever it was. All around, special teams were really bad on yesterday, as well as the offense. Joe Flacco, a three turnover day. Um, I believe it's time to go to Dylan Gabriel. With Joe Flacco, and like all of his interceptions aren't even his fault, really. The first one was horrible. It was a miscommunication between him and Tillman. It was basically an arm punt, and Kirby Joseph picked it off around midfield. And then the second one, Jerry Judy fell on some tight coverage, which if he doesn't fall, it probably isn't picked. It's either completed or incomplete. And they got returned to like the five by DJ Reed. And then it was a sack fumble by Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive side late in this game. The reason I say that the defense didn't play all that bad, I'm jumping back and forth, bear with me, is because on all of I think with Detroit, they had 34 points. Seven of them came on the punt return, so that then brings you to 27. And then I think another, uh, and then I think another like 20 of those points, or I think another 17 of those points was short fields. Um, like I said, that pick got it to the five. They scored a touchdown. The first pick, they got it to 50. They ended up being a field goal. And then that sack fumble, they got the ball at like the 20 and they scored again. So, uh, 7 points was on the special teams. Another 17 points was on horrible field position by the Cleveland Browns. The Browns finally got a turnover in this game, a takeaway, a Denzel Ward pick on a horrible throw by Jared Goff. I think he got a little confused, and that led to a Browns field goal. We said they need to get more turnovers. They got one. That's a step in the right direction. We need more from them. Like I said, they played fairly decent against the run. Jameer Gibbs did run for a hefty yards per carry on average, but I think the totals for the game end up being like 23. Let me make sure if I give y'all some false information. Where are we? Where are we? ESPN. Um, yeah, I know Jameer Gibbs himself was like 15 for 91. And then in this game as a total team, let's go to the box score. It was 29 for 109. So that's like three something to carry as a team. They really shut down Montgomery. He had 9 for 12. Um, and then, like I said, Jameer Gibbs had 15 for 91. So outside of Gibbs, they really shut that down. Jared Goff's numbers were pedestrian, 16 to 27, 168, but he did have two touchdowns with that one pick. Like I said, the big thing is he didn't get sacked. I think that was huge. Um, but the defense is going to play very well until they reach their limit. Their limit's going to come sometime in the third or the fourth quarter due to short fields over and over, due to the offense putting them in bad situations over and over. And then eventually they're going to break. Let's talk about that Browns offense that was so bad. Quinshon Judkins had a decent day. Not quite four carry, but 21 carries for 82 yards. And then he had another four catches for 33 yards. So his first 100-yard total offense day, I believe. He also had a touchdown. Isaiah Bond was your leading receiver, three for 58. I think he's like one of your only receivers that didn't drop a ball. Uh, he had a couple of chunk plays, including a go ball down the right side of the field. Well, he went up and made a play. If he's going to make plays, he deserves more playing time, which he probably would get anyway due to Cedric Tillman leaving this game with a hamstring injury. Coach Stefanski said that he's going to be out a few weeks with that. Jerry Judy started off hot. I think the first drive he had like two or three catches and he didn't really get anything else after that. Three catches for 48 yards, including a long of 33 on nine targets. Extremely inefficient. He had a big drop, like I mentioned earlier. Um, yeah, it's super frustrating when you have times to make explosive plays because we haven't seen them and they're so far and so few in between that you don't get them that when you have a chance to make them, the players just not making plays. And we get on Stefanski for a lot of stuff, not being creative enough and stuff like that. But players are in position to make plays. They're not making them. You make that play, it's 20-17 because he probably takes that to the crib because DJ Reed actually got hurt on that play when he got carted off. I hope he's doing well. That's probably 20-17. You don't have that punt return for a touchdown. Completely different ball game. Um, we have to find a way to get David and Njoku the ball. Three targets, two catches, 11 yards is unacceptable. Harold Fannin always makes a really good play, but he has a lot of drops. So we need the jugs machines. We need the picture perfect, catching everything. We need to be better catching the ball. Now, Joe Flacco, horrible. 16 of 34, 184 yards, two picks, and a fumble. We will not be able to win games if we lose the turnover battle. Three turnovers is too many. Two turnovers is too many. I can live with one turnover a game. But he had three this game. Last week against Green Bay, he only had one, and we won. Week two against Baltimore, he had two. One went back for a touchdown. Should have had three that actually became a touchdown for us. Week one, two picks. We cannot continue. We will not be competitive if we cannot do, if we cannot control and hold on to the ball. It's time to put in Dylan Gabriel. I probably will do a video on this later. It's time to bring in Dylan Gabriel and let him play. He cannot be any worse than Joe Flacco. And if he is, so what? You know. Um, you cannot move, you can't move the pocket. That was a second and two where Joe Flacco could pick up the first down with his legs. He took off and he slid at the line of scrimmage. He couldn't pick up 2 yards. We cannot continue to trot him. They tried to recreate the magic from 2023. It didn't happen. It's okay. Play Dylan Gabriel. See how he performs. If he performs well, keep him in. If he plays 4 games and 4 or 5 games and he doesn't look like he's going or he's making any strides, put in Shador. If he plays well, let him finish the year. If he doesn't play well, you can do whatever you want to do to him. Bailey Zapp. Don't care. The Zap man. Um, but yeah, it's time. I think Kevin Stefanski is strongly considering. I think he will make the change because and he's done this before when he is going to keep the guy in. He'll firmly say that that's our starter, but he kept saying that's not our focus right now. But I think he's going to make that change. He didn't rule it out. And 9 times out of 10, you just saw this just last week with Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson for New York. When the coach doesn't rule it out, you're probably going to see a change. So we need to see that, um, and just see what it does. It might help, it might hurt, but we won't know until we try. So, yeah, the Browns lose this one, 34-10. More competitive game than what it would say, and yeah, the Browns just can't get out their own way. If they get out their own way, they can beat anybody. But if they continue to be in their own way, they will lose every game for the rest of the season. You got some winnable games coming up. You've gotten through the gauntlet. You got Minnesota, who looks average. Then you got Pittsburgh, who to me looks average. The defense is coming around, but they have no corners. They're pretty much all injured. Then you have, I think, Miami, and then you get into the easier part of your schedule. So, hey, why not let your young quarterback get some reps in? Let's see what he can do. He's a competitor. Let him compete. Let him play. You're not gonna ruin him. And if you ruin him, he wasn't meant to be the guy anyway. Because we don't say that about any other rookie. We just throw him in the fire and say, hey, sink or swim. And it's that time of the season. Sink or swim, man. I think this offense got a chance to do some things. The running game looks a whole lot better with Quinshon Judkins in there. Isaiah Bond, I think, is going to be a contributor. Jay Judy, if he catches the ball, will be a fantastic contributor. Um, but yeah, this type of football is it's hard to watch. The Browns can't score. The Browns haven't been able to score for 2 years now. And that sucks because the defense is really good. But with that being said, see you on the next episode.